I'm going to invite our children's director, Jody Kiesler, up because you're going to get to know her today. Can you give her a hand as she makes her way to the stage? Jody, you can sit right here. And thank you, AJ, for giving me a stool that's easier to hop up on. When I interviewed Pastor Aaron with a stool like this, it took me about 7 minutes to get up onto it because I am vertically challenged, as you can see. Welcome, Jody.
Hi, how are you?
Good, I'm great. It's great to have you today. And as many of you may know, Jody Kiesler is our new children's director, effective like what, maybe 3-4 months ago?
Yeah.
And so we just want to get to know you today. Can we do that?
Okay.
Church, are you good with that? Those of you joining us online, are you good with that too? Great. Great to hear from you. Jody, tell us, where are you from?
I'm from Stowe.
You're from Stowe. Born and raised.
Well, actually, I grew up in Cuyahoga Falls.
Yes.
And now I'm in Stowe. Never thought I'd make the transition, but, jumped over to be on the other side.
It's good to have you. You're still in Summit County.
Still in Summit County.
Just in a different town. Okay, that's cool. And tell us a little bit about your family.
I have a husband, John. We've been married almost 20 years, and 3 boys.
Awesome, awesome. And they're not in here this morning, right?
Next service.
Next service? Okay, all right. And where'd you go to college?
I got my undergraduate from Kent State. It's a Bachelor's of Arts in Biology, and my Master's in Education from Muskingum University.
Awesome. Kent State. Go Flashes, huh?
Right.
The only reason I say that is I used to work there, and that's what they would say all day long. But you really didn't want to know that. Let's hear about things that you want to know. Tell us about more important things like, tell us about how you found Christ, and tell us a little bit about how you've grown in Christ and your spiritual journey and all things like that.
Well, I was a little girl about 7, and the electric company came right down to the South Sanctuary right here at Victory Life. And that's when I really gave my life to God. And it's been a wonderful opportunity to grow up in a Christian home and to be in this church where I got to see people live and grow in God and just see that over time. And it really helped develop a faith in me.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And here you are as the director of our children's ministry, having been influenced as a child and as a youth. That's really cool. Speaking of which, can you tell us a little bit about your oversight of children's ministries here at Victory Life Church?
Right, so I'm in charge of the children's department, and that's anywhere from 0 all the way up until 6th grade.
Awesome. Okay, great. And we're going to talk a little bit more about something cool that's going on here over the next couple of weeks. Can you also talk to us a little bit about, like, what's your big goal? What's your vision for the children's ministry?
All right, so we are really excited, myself and the volunteers that work with the kids, to bring some really in-depth learning to the kids so that they can be prepared for God to grow them at any age. And we are even more excited to form a partnership with the parents and the grandparents that have such a huge influence and huge impact for their kids. They really see that authenticness of your faith. It doesn't have to be perfect, just see God growing you. And we want to be a partner with you in that and help open up the communication between you and your child, and so that they can really be prepared to grow.
That is so cool. And, as an outsider, I'm speaking of myself, I've been here for about 5 years, and I didn't grow up in this church. And it's really cool for me to see individuals like yourself and like Pastor Matt and AJ, whom I know grew up in this church, and seeds of faith were planted in each of you as children. And now look at the fruit of this, folks. A lot of this is because of your influence, and I think that's a part of what you're talking about, right? So your vision is like, who's the next Pastor Matt? Who's the next AJ? Who's the next Jody? And so on and so forth, and so that's pretty cool. Well, since you've had such great influences in your life, I know that you've probably had some mentors and influences. Can you tell me a little bit about people who have mentored you?
Yeah, so I have some very specific mentors outside of this church, but really, as I look around this room, I see many of my mentors sitting right here. You were my nursery workers, you were my Sunday school teachers, you were my Wednesday night leaders, and I heard what you told me in class, and I believed it. But more so, I believed when I saw you walking your faith. Not perfectly, but in the hard times, still in here praising God. And in the times of growth, as kids, we saw you change and grow and become more of an image of Christ, whether it was in the horse barn or whether it was outside at the church or whether it was in a classroom here. It's really all these people that we see still here praising the Lord that makes such a impact.
That is incredible. That is such a cool story. So you've had lots of people here influence you. That's amazing. I'm sure that you've had biblical characters that you've really looked to as models and examples and, ones that you really like. Do you have a favorite Bible character?
I had such a hard time thinking of a favorite one.
Yeah.
I studied Genesis last year, and I keep coming back to Abraham. I
Abraham.
mean, first generation believer? Tell me if I get it wrong, right? And just out of nothing, and he messed up a lot, and I feel like God just kept bringing him back, and made some bad decisions, some really good decisions. He's right there for me right now.
Well, that's what I like about the Bible. It's an unvarnished look at the lives of God's people. We're a bunch of imperfect individuals serving a perfect God. And so that's what I love about God's Word. Speaking of words, if you could define your life in one word, what would it be?
I was going to say tornado, but that sounded too destructive.
No way.
I'm going to go with thread. I've had this image of God's tapestry and how we're all this thread. We don't see the big picture, but we're just all this thread that he uses to connect and to make his great design. And just one little thread, but I see how he's woven.
He weaves it all together, doesn't he? And I'm sure each and all of you can think of ways in which he has weaved all of the details of your lives together. He doesn't waste anything, for sure. Well, let's go a little bit deeper with you.
Oh, okay.
And by deeper, I mean let's have some fun. Tell us, we did this with Pastor Aaron, and I want to do the same with you. Do you have a favorite food?
Oh, man, I'm going to give it away. Okay, I love Dairy Queen peanut butter. You know the peanut butter sauce they put on top of the sundaes? I just buy it by the cupful and eat it straight out of the cup.
Well, please don't bring that to my office because I've had problems with mice. So I love peanut butter, too. I get extra peanut butter in my pulp shakes, so I can relate to that. Do you have a least favorite food?
Oh, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, okay.
Mayonnaise. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Everyone's entitled. I get extra mayonnaise on my Subway sandwiches. Okay. Do you have a favorite destination?
Anywhere with my family and my dog.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Seeing the new sites. We love to go explore just new topography.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's
Awesome. So here's one. What is a song on your playlist that you wouldn't normally tell someone about?
Well, some of you in this room probably remember me being a horrible drummer all through high school. But it's stuck with me. So I have a lot of percussion on my just straight up high school drumline percussion. It's a little embarrassing, but I do.
Have you ever seen the Blue Man Group?
I love the Blue Man Group.
They're amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
so fun.
I've been to a lot of their shows in Chicago. We're really talented percussionists. What's something unique about you?
Something unique. Did I write this one down? Something unique about. Oh, I can juggle.
You can juggle?
I can juggle.
Here, can you juggle the microphones?
No, I can't.
Okay. All right.
I'd probably fall off the stage.
We should demonstrate that sometime. Okay. All right. Last question. Most embarrassing moment.
It happened just a few years ago. I was mowing the lawn, and I chopped up my cell phone with the lawnmower right by the edge of the road, so all the little itty-bitty pieces were scattered all over the road for everyone to see.
That's awesome.
I'm not allowed to mow anymore.
Well, that's great. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing some personal things with us. That was a whole lot of fun. On a serious note, I know that you're doing something really, really cool that's starting this Wednesday that you'd like to share with our church this morning. So I'm not going to say anything more. Can you tell us a little bit about these children's intensives?
Yeah, so we are so excited to have these children's intensives starting this Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:45, and this is a very intense time of learning for the kids. And this session, we're going to be covering what truth is, and it's by Elizabeth Urbanowicz, which is a great worldview leader. She is talking about truth and how to, where the truth comes from, and how to use that truth to filter all the things that are thrown at your kids all day, every day. And so we really want them to walk away with a truth filter, that they can take everything and process through it. We're really excited about it. There's also a parenting class that's going to go along with that will help you as a parent or grandparent to detect how society is impacting you and your children and your family.
That is amazing. And so if folks want to sign up for these classes, both children and parents need to sign up. And do you know where?
Yes, I think it's on Planning Center. If you go to the website,
Yep.
Go to the website, click on Fall Life Groups, right?
They can go to life groups. Actually, if you see that visual graphic on the screen there, it says Children's Intensives. You'll see the same graphic on our main page. There's a register here tab. Click on that tab, and that'll take you to the registration page, and they'll be good to go from there.
All right.